Hey everyone, welcome to Up All Night DIY. I'm Monica, thanks for joining me. Today I'm lucky enough to be participating in the Charity Craft Challenge, hosted by What's Jamie Making and Connie's Creative Creations. This month's theme is Prints and Patterns. The winner of this challenge will receive a donation to their charity courtesy of our very generous hosts. My charity is Outcast Rescue. This charity is doubly special to me as I'm a dog lover and as my sister has volunteered for this organization for 5 years, transporting animals in need of some rescue. Outcast saves these pups from euthanasia and places them in foster homes until they find their forever families. Okay, so let's get started. I've cut this pear shape with my scroll saw from a piece of MDF. Late summer's pear season and pears represent prosperity, so I thought this is a perfect project for today. To start, I'm using some Retarder gel medium to give my Irish moss acrylic paint a translucence. I'll dip my brush into my medium first, then into my paint, and I'll mix it together on my plate. Starting at the top, I'll brush it onto my pear using loose strokes. I want a streaky appearance to my base color, allowing some of the MDF to peek through. Now that my base color is dry, I'm using Hippo Gray and a cosmetic sponge to add my stencils. I'll be using 2 different stencils today. My first stencil is a handwritten text. I've centered it at the top of the pear so some of the text will flow off the edges. I'm just lightly pouncing over it with a thin coat of Hippo. I just love this stencil. It's called Time Traveler, and it's just a bunch of clock faces and hands and random numbers. I'll place my clock stencil off to the side a bit on the bottom of the pear and pounce it again with Hippo. Both of these stencils have a kind of tattered and torn look to them, so I'm not overly concerned if some of the areas are lighter than others. I feel that will add to the effect I'm going for. And I'll add more clocks to the bottom corner. I'll fill in the gaps with my text again. I'm going for like a junk journal collage look. I'll lightly sand in case the overlay has left any wee bumps. And I'll wipe it clean with a paper towel. Using floating medium and Americana pumpkin spice, I'll add some color along the edges. I dip my brush into my float medium, then stroke it on my plate to load the bristles. Then I'll scoop some paint onto the corner of the brush and stroke that back and forth on the plate to load the color into my brush. This will give me a gradation of color. I'll float the spiced pumpkin, keeping the paint side of the brush close to the edge, reloading as needed. I just keep going until I like what I see. I'm floating in the curves to give it a bit of depth. And I'll build the color by adding burnt orange too. I just follow the exact same method as before. I'm going to add some of that orange at the very bottom too. This is one of my favorite parts of painting, is adding all this detail. I'm floating the stem with the burnt orange as well. To add a touch of drama, I'll edge the pear with charcoal in the same manner. Don't forget this stem. I think the charcoal makes such an impact. And I'm sure to get those curves again. And I can't forget the bottom. With Ceramcoat Palmetto, I'll add some highlights to the curves. The highlights will go closer to the center of the pear, just next to the spice pumpkin. and a wee bit of highlight to the stem. I've cut a stencil of the word pear with my silhouette in a typewriter font, and I apply it to the lower left side of my pear. First, with the cosmetic sponge and Mod Podge, I'll pants over my stencil to ensure crisp line to my letters. The Mod Podge helps keep the paint from seeping under the stencil. Once it's dry, I use Ceramcoat charcoal and a cosmetic sponge and pounce over the word pear. I am a bit more fastidious with this application because I really want the word pear to stand out. And I pull up my stencil for the big reveal. As always, I'll spray it with the clear matte sealer. I've cut and painted 2 7-inch pieces of 1x2 to make a stand for my pear. One piece will go horizontally across the bottom and the other perpendicular to that. With wood glue and a couple of dots of hot glue, first I'll attach the horizontal piece to the back. Then I'll add the second piece perpendicular to the horizontal piece. This will just add some extra support. I've cut an 18-inch piece of linen ribbon. I'll snip 2 slits at one end and pull them away from each other to tear them into 3 smaller strips. Matching up the ends, I'll stack the strips on top of each other. Then, I'll make 2 loops and cross the tails over each other. I twist the chenille stem around the center. Then I'll fluff the loops out a wee bit. I'll cover the chenille stem with a scrap piece of my ribbon, and I'll tie it in the back. I twist the bow onto the stem of my pear. And she's done. You could easily add a wire to the top if you wanted to hang it. I think this is a nice addition to my late summer decor that will transition nicely when I'm ready to decorate for fall. This is a quick, easy, and budget-friendly high-end looking art piece for your home. Please click the link below to vote. If you'd like to make your own donation, you'll find a link for that too at outcast.com ways to donate. I thought I'd share a couple of pictures of my sister's rescues. This is Callum, Connery, and Nessie. These sweet, lovable doggies have found their forever home with my sister and brother-in-law. Lucky pups. And this is my own favorite fuzzball, Razzles. Please be sure to check out our host channels as well as the other participants via the links below. And please remember to vote. As always, stay creative, my friends. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next time. Up all night with Monica.